Good evening. This is the Dolores County Broadcasting Network. And fortunately for all of you out there in TV land, we have no news about the Jets. So, with that, the DCTV Evening News Program for January 29th, 2019. The camera person is Devin. News anchors. No, I'm sorry. Video engineer and sound engineer producer is Edward. Teleprompter and prompter is Myra. News anchors are Austin and Daniel Faulkner. And our meteorologist is Hannah. And this is your news director, Dan. And now the news.
Welcome to the DCTV 4-H Kids Evening News Show. Help us keep our news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. You can become a sponsor by calling 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Now for the news. Hi, I'm Austin, and here is our first story from the Denver Post. They call it the Swamp Ghost, but it became a treasured World War II find. Back in 1972, the Royal Australian Air Force was doing a routine flight across the remote part of the Papua New Guinea part of Australian Commonwealth at the time. It was an average day and everything seemed normal at first, but then something happened that would change everything. At first, the people inside of the helicopter didn't know exactly what they were looking at cautiously. They flew in closer to the shape that was laying so unceremoniously among all the trees and green nature. The object we're seeing was halfway submerged under the water. The area where they were was partially swampland. The swamps of Papua New Guinea are lousy with dangerous animals, including alligators, making the identification of the mysterious object found in the swamp difficult to verify. The country was a hotspot during World War II and the major piece of conflict for the Southwest Pacific Theater. And the war left behind a treasure trove of items hidden deep and difficult to get to the terrain, all just waiting to be discovered. Upon further investigation, it became clear that the item was hidden in the swamp was actually a very large plane. Because of the plane's location, it became locally known as the Swamp Ghost. It wasn't long after inspecting the plane that it was discovered that it was actually a bomber plane from World War II era. The plane's crew was now stranded in the middle of a dangerous swamp in the middle of nowhere. Not knowing where they were or where they were going, they set off to find civilization and help to get back to their base located in the capital. The entire crew, devastatingly, all caught malaria while attempting to traverse the dangerous swamps. Fortunately, they came across a native that assisted them and looked them back to his village. The kind local helped treat the crew and nurse them back to health. From there, it was time for them to be reunited with the U.S. forces.
Bull rider Mason Lowe killed after being thrown off, stomped on. A professional bull rider who was thrown off and then stomped on by a bull died Tuesday after sustaining fatal injuries. Mason Lowe, a 25-year-old from Exeter, Missouri, was knocked off the bull named Hard Times during the National Western Stock Show being held at Denver Coliseum in Colorado. Following the incident in the evening, Lowe was immediately rushed to a local hospital where he succumbed to a massive heart injury at night, according to Sean Gleason, CEO of Professional Bull Riders PBR, an international professional bull riding organization. Local media reported after being thrown off by the animal, Lowe was trying to get up again and get a hold of the bull when it stomped on his chest. "We are heartbroken by the passing of Mason Lowe," Gleason said during a news conference Wednesday, Denver Post reported. "The bull absolutely unintentionally injured and killed Mason," Gleason added. "In this particular case, he had no idea that Mason had been sucked underneath him. The bull did not do this with any malintention." Fans paid tribute to Lowe at Denver Coliseum when they showed up for the finals Wednesday. The announcer started the proceedings by saying, "It is with extreme heavy hearts that we share with you we have lost truly one of our own." A tribute video by PBR featured Lowe, who described some of the risks of being a bull rider the way I was taught. Don't give up. If you're hurting a little bit, just keep going at it, and hopefully it'll pain a way out. It'll pain a way out. Lowe was from rural Missouri and had developed a passion for the sport since he was a kid. He participated at his first PBR event in Arkansas in 2011 and eventually became a full-time rider in 2015. He had qualified for 3 consecutive PBR World Finals. Lowe was ranked 18th in bull riding in the world by PBR. Pointing out the passion involved in profession, Gleason said, "That's the mentality of a bull rider. It's what they love to do. They'd be riding in their backyard if they couldn't be riding professionally." National Western officials started collecting donations to meet funeral expenses. The collected money would be given to Lowe's family. Calling the incident a rare one, Slade Long, a former bull rider and PBR employee, said, "It's pretty freaky. There are close calls. Everyone in the sport has it in their mind that it's seriously dangerous, but it's very rare for someone to die." This story is from the Cortez Journal with Austin.
A 50-year-old woman from Oklahoma was with members of La Plata County Search and Rescue on the Purgatory Flats Trail at 8:20 p.m. Monday after she became lost while snowshoeing at the Durango Nordic Center. She was uninjured but tired. Rescuers expected her to be extracted from the area by 11 p.m. by a team of 5 members, said Ron Korkish, Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator. Korkish said the woman, whose name he could not release, was snowshoeing alone when she wandered off the Nordic Center Trail. She became disoriented and ended up on the Purgatory Flats Trail. She said she was not prepared to stay the night and knew enough to call 911, Korkish said. A Flight for Life helicopter was called, but the woman chose to come out of the area under her own power, Korkish said. "It's cold and dark, and they were certainly not going to have anyone injured tonight, so we'll take as long as necessary to be safe," he said. Of the extraction plan, Korkish said the woman started out on her hike around 1 p.m. and the call for assistance came about 5:40 p.m. This story is from the Cortez Journal.
3 years ago, Montezuma County began an economic development campaign to attract large-scale solar farms, and while there has been progress, hurdles remain. In 2015, county commissioners wrote out a welcome mat that included a map showing ideal locations that have flat land and are close to substation connecting to regional and national transmission lines. An analyst of the region's consistent sunshine and elevation also were picked to attract solar investment. A county resolution was passed outlining a commitment to promoting renewable energy. Once the line was cast, private industry began to nibble on the bait, but challenges arose about companies gaining access to the power grid, according to county officials. Companies have told us the challenge has been securing the power purchase agreement from the utility, he said. "We reached out to show the county has the criteria solar companies are looking for, but it's up to private industry to take it from there." EDF Renewable stepped forward and is in the preliminary planning stage for a large-scale solar farm west of Cortez, said project development manager Vincent Green. But real design, planning, and construction cannot begin until a power purchase agreement with an energy utility is secured to deliver and sell the power to customers. Empire Electric Association, based in Cortez, is one of the 43 independent cooperatives served by the Tri-State General and Transmission Association. Empire is required to buy 95% of its power from Tri-State under a long-term contract. The format is typical of Tri-State contracts with co-ops Officials say a co-op can produce 5% of its power from other sources such as locally produced renewable energy, and Empire Electric has 4% available on its system for moderately sized solar, wind, or hydroelectric projects, said General Manager Josh Dellinger. But the large-scale solar farm proposed by EDF Renewables would significantly exceed the 5% cap. Green said he understands Empire's limitations to accept power from his proposed project, and Green also said he is hopeful and bullish for the Montezuma solar project. It is now for Dumb Laws with Lion.
Dumb laws in North Dakota. It is illegal to lie down and fall asleep with your shoes on. Beer and pretzels can't be served at the same time in any bar or restaurant. It is illegal to shoot an Indian on horseback, provided you are in a covered wagon. In Devil's Lake, New Year's celebrations are somewhat bland in this town, as fireworks may not be set off after 11 p.m. In Fargo, one may be jailed for wearing a hat while dancing, or even wearing a hat to a function where dancing is taking place. Now our weather report with Hannah Faulkner.
Our current weather data comes from the DCTV weather station located in the beautiful downtown Duff Creek. The current temperature is 29 degrees. The high for today was 32 degrees. The low was 20 degrees. The barometer is at 30.19 inches and is falling. Humidity is at 75%. Wind is between 1 and 7 miles per hour from the northeast. Gusts have been up to 14 miles per hour. There are 1/100th of an inch of rain moisture melted in the DCTV weather station today. Moisture for the month is 1.98 inches, hundredths of an inch. Moisture accumulation for the year is 1 inch and 68 hundredths. Now for the big map, courtesy of the National Weather Service. Two highs, one over Ohio and Montana, and the other over South Wyoming, are keeping the west and most of the central country clear. There is snow from north Wisconsin across the Great Lakes into New York and Pennsylvania. More snow is found from Maine into New Jersey. A band of snow goes from Kentucky into Pennsylvania. Rain is falling along the Atlantic coast from South Maine into South Maine into South Carolina. A small area of Florida's coast has some rain. Here is our exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. Wednesday, sunny, high 40, low 15. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 42, low 23. Friday, partly sunny, high 44, low 27. Saturday, chance of rain and snow, high 43, low 30. Sunday, snow showers, high 41, low 25. We present you with a snow total report, which is the amount of snowpack in the mountains across the state. We hope it will be helpful for our farmers and our skiers. Statewide, the snowpack is at 108% of normal. Here in the Southwest, we only have 92% of normal. Now for the climate change report. CO2 carbon dioxide is considered a greenhouse gas and is one of the principal causes of climate change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability. This results in significant variations worldwide in moisture and hot and cool temperatures. But the general climate trend is the planet slowly warming. Therefore, it is important that we report the CO2 weekly changes. The following are the CO2 numbers in parts per million. Last week, 411.99. 2 weeks ago, 410.4. Last year, 408.31. 10 years ago, 387.16. 50 years ago, 324.42. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth Network for providing this information. Remember, you can help keep our kids' new show on air by buying a sponsorship. To become a sponsor, just call 970-677-4119. That's 970-677-4119. Thank you. Now back to your news director.
And that is the end of today's DCTV 4-H Evening News Show. This is your news director, Dan, saying good night and thank you for watching.